What's stompin' dinos? Well, I'm finally caught up on the IDW Sonic comics. I still need to read a few of the spin-offs. The only one I've read so far is Bad Guys. I just wanted to read the main series as fast as possible because I've been researching for Rouge of the Bat to hopefully be able to help out Bretta35 with a video essay on Rouge. But man, I got a lot more out of IDW than just Rouge stuff. To be honest, there isn't a whole lot of Rouge in IDW, but that's a topic for another time. Today, I just wanted to kind of give quick thoughts on what I think about Lanolin. And it's taken me a couple days to kind of gather my thoughts on the character, and it'll probably take, much longer for me to evolve my thoughts on the character, because that's just, what happens. My opinions change on things over time, and I don't see this situation being any different. I might end up writing a fully scripted, proper video essay on Lanolin one day, but this is just going to be an unscripted, quick thoughts kind of video. I think for the sake of putting out more content and putting out more discussion pieces, and just building up my audience more and just, starting up discussions more frequently, I do want to try to start doing more of these unscripted videos in between like the big high effort, more video essay type videos. So basically Lanolin is a character who I really want to like more than I do because I see what they were going for with their character. Like, I like the concept of the character and her arc on paper. I just don't think it quite works for me because I don't think Lanolin is a well-rounded enough character for me to enjoy reading about her and to fully, I guess, empathize with the character. And what I mean by that is, for those that have read IDW, you know that Lanolin is very driven, basically to help out with the restoration as much as she can. I almost feel like she is so insecure in her ability to lead and her ability to help that she kind of gets ahead of herself and doesn't really meet herself where she's at, which leads her to sort of not have enough faith in the people that she should be having faith in. Like when Whisper and Silver are trying to suss out Duo as Mimic, but Lanolin kind of just jumps on them and immediately starts blaming them for jumping to conclusions when really that's what she's doing. Like for me, the only part of Lanolin's sort of impulsiveness that I kind of don't like, that I feel like goes a little too far, is when Whisper specifically says like, yeah, Mimic has tells for being a shapeshifter. And I feel like even a character like Lanolin who's not very experienced, I feel like even Lanolin should have been like, okay, well, you know what, hey, let's test out these tells in a safe way that don't hurt Duo. But no, Lanolin's just straight up like, no, get the fuck out, shut the fuck up, leave baby boy alone. Which, I mean, I don't know, maybe over time I'll come around to understand her. Like, obviously it's a bad decision, but she's meant to be a flawed character that has things that she needs to work out, and at this point in her character journey, she is meant to be sort of impulsive and jumping to conclusions and stuff. I just feel like that part in particular kind of just pissed me off too much. The other parts, like where the Phantom Rider comes in and her just trying to again do the best she can in the restoration, it is understandable. I think just what makes the character not work for me overall, as I said before, is that she's not well-rounded enough. And what I mean is characters like Lanolin, I think, only really work because she is meant to be a protagonist. She's meant to be a protagonist character, but she also is meant to be a sort of obstacle for the other characters. So you are meant to feel somewhat negative about her, but I just don't think she's very enjoyable to read because she doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities outside of her flaws. Like, for example, and it doesn't have to be specifically this, but like, I don't think I know what Lanolin's favorite food is. Like, we don't know her hobbies, her interests. We haven't seen a whole lot of a softer side of her, again, other than just her wanting to do good in the restoration, do the best she can. And we can tell she does care about people, but as she herself reflects on post-clean sweep arc, she sort of lost sight of the value of the people that she was trying to help in the first place. She, I guess, became so goal-oriented. But I am glad that Lano decided that she needed to take a step away from the restoration, because she screwed up so much and she was making so many bad, impulsive decisions. Like, as I was reading Lano's journey, I could tell what they were trying to do with the character, and it basically confirms it for me, like seeing her sort of almost you know, punish herself for her actions. I do really like that. There was someone I was talking to recently who said that Lano didn't face any repercussions for her actions. I don't know if that person was completely caught up to IDW, but that definitely isn't the case. It's sort of a unanimous decision among the Diamond Cutters that they all kind of screwed up in a lot of ways. And that they all need to try other things. So I do really like that decision from each of them. Even from Jewel, who I wouldn't have minded if she's still getting another chance at running the restoration, because I don't think she fucked up as bad as Lano. I think Jewel was way more overwhelmed than Lano, so I don't think she can be blamed as much for working of Clutch. I think the position that she was in was more understandable personally, but I do definitely think it is better overall that Jewel takes a step back as well. I will say I do prefer this outcome for these characters over what I see a lot in fiction, where characters will screw up in a massive way, like even bigger than Jewel and Lano do. Like there are situations in fiction, I can't think of any specific examples off the top of my head, but situation like where like characters will literally get people killed, but then they might question themselves and be like, oh shit, I need to take a step back. But then like someone else, like I feel like this is something that's happened in Shonen, but then like the Shonen MC will be like, oh no, I forgive you. We can be friends now. I don't care that you got people killed. You know, like I hate that shit. So like, even though I personally feel like, at least in Jewel's case, it would have been okay if someone would have said that to Jewel and Jewel would have gotten that second chance. I'm definitely happy that her and Lano are taking a step back. I definitely think Lano was one of the weaker parts of the clean sweep arc and just the post-Metal Virus stuff in general, because I feel like Metal Virus was definitely, like those first couple arcs of IDW, I feel like were the weakest part of the series, but I definitely think it picked up a lot after that, just because I didn't like the pacing of Metal Virus. I feel like it wasn't earned. I feel like that arc in general just shouldn't have happened that early into the run. Like it feels way too climatic. Like that's the kind of arc that needed way more build up to feel like worth happening. So yeah, my views on everything post Metal Virus are definitely a lot better. Like I said, I enjoy the pacing a lot more. It definitely has more moments where it kind of slows down and feels a little slice of lifey, which I need more out of Sonic, which we really only get out of like, you know, the Sonic Boom Show and Sonic X. But it's something I would like to see more out of like the main series, like the main continuity. So I'm happy to see that a little bit in IDW, since apparently that's like canon to the games. So yeah, Lanolin's been on my mind a lot lately, and I felt like I just wanted to get a little discussion video out for her, or probably my least favorite part of Clean Sweep arc. But I don't outright hate Lano. I just think that she's a character who I don't like, but I want to like more, because like I said, she is missing elements to her that would make her a more well-rounded character, where it's like you recognize her flaws, but you also recognize, you know, the parts of her character that are easier to like. And they clearly were trying to make her the kind of character that you're meant to like despite their flaws. You want to see them get better, basically. Like I think of, like, you know, Ragatha from the Amazing Digital Circus, who is someone who definitely has a lot of flaws and unlikable qualities as a person, but she's just a very enjoyable character to watch, and someone who you want to see get better. And I wish I could feel the same way about Lano, but unfortunately I don't. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think, whether, you know, you're a ride or die for Lano, whether you, like, absolutely despise her, you know, maybe you're somewhere in the middle. I definitely want to hear all kinds of perspectives. Just keep it civil. And let me know who else you guys want me to talk about from the Sonic series, whether that be IDW or the games or just whatever. Like I said, I'm gonna try to start putting out these lower effort discussion videos more often. And I also have a Zaz video essay coming out soon, which is gonna be more of a jokey video because I lost a bet, but hopefully that'll be coming out soon. But anyways, I hope I see you in the comments. Later.